Hello and welcome to Business Spotlight, where today we are joined by John Gates of Duo Accountants. Welcome, John.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, no, absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to dive straight in. I would love to know what do you do and how long you've been doing it for?
So we are a husband and wife-led accountancy practice, and we've been doing it since the beginning of 2021. My wife and I are both chartered accountants, did completely separate lines of work before, but it was a bit of a lockdown idea that two of us spent working either side of the dining table that's kind of brought the idea together and started the company from there.
Lockdown has a lot to answer for, doesn't it? It really does. It's created some amazing opportunities for people. So the fact that you're working with your lovely wife is incredible. So what motivated you to start the business? Obviously, across the dining room table was one thing, but what really made you think, right, this can work?
I'd say a couple of different things. Because there was two of us starting the company, timing was an important aspect. The fact that we were both, for different reasons, had that motivation to start something at the same time. I would say time to reflect is a big thing. And I think talking to a lot of people that have started businesses during lockdowns, having that time to reevaluate what you want to do and how you want to do it. We're not reinventing the wheel. We were accountants before, we're still accountants now, but we're doing it for ourselves. For me, I think it's more control over your destiny, being able to have direct influence over where our careers are going, what we're doing, the people that we get to work with. And not just working. Before we were working for one company each. Now we work with actually loads of companies, mostly in and around Warwick and Leamington. So our experience and opportunities is expanded tenfold.
Yeah.
So I think those were the key things really, and knowing that we wanted to do something different, and just experience new things.
Yeah, I love there that you said that having control over your destiny, that's really important. That's incredible. Do you feel that it's been everything that you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's probably been more things which we hadn't anticipated, because it was being thrown at us. But certainly we're pretty closer to where we'd hoped to be in a sort of sooner period of time. Kind of had a vague sort of 5-year plan, and we're kind of getting towards that quicker than we first anticipated. But I think anybody that's starting a business, you're first and foremost you're a business owner, and then you are whatever it is that you actually do that pays the bills. So juggling both those things was a real challenge, and we knew the accounting. That's the kind of almost the easy part, because you know what you need to do. It's the being a business owner and wearing all those multiple hats that was the bit that came in from the side really, and you really have to kind of work out how to do it and how to do it well and how to do it quickly sometimes as well.
What kind of challenges were thrown at you from the side?
Sales and marketing,
Okay.
definitely, especially from accountants. Stereotypically may not be the most outgoing or people you'd anticipate being at the front of a sales and marketing pitch to people. So certainly for me, that was a big challenge.
Yeah.
Getting from out behind a computer screen and out in front of people, networking, talking to people, selling yourself and your business, which that's quite difficult. I find it really easy to talk to clients, talk about their business. As soon as the conversation turns around and you've got to talk about yourself, you're like, oh, okay, got to really work on that and get the confidence to do that. I don't know why that is, but it's that's probably been the biggest challenge for me personally, working out how to promote our business and then just getting out and doing it. But we're in our third year now. It's kind of come more naturally. It's just you just got to get out and do it. And the first couple of times, even things like if it's on social media, doing a video, recording yourself. I remember when I was first doing that, I would do it and I'd record myself like 20 times. Now, sort of 2 years on, hit record, do it in one go. If it's 80% there, 90% there, that's absolutely fine. Don't kind of fret about perfection, which is probably what I did from at the start.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do, because we feel that, well, it's vulnerable. I think sales and marketing is putting yourself out there to be told no, to potentially to be told no potentially, and so it's a very vulnerable space to be in. So I love the fact that that's something that's been your biggest challenge. However, you're recording videos one take and popping them on, so that's fantastic growth. That's amazing growth.
Yeah.
What would you say that your what would you say that you would attribute your growth to?
I would say it's probably what we do, or sorry, it's not what we do, it's the way we do it that has given us our growth. So, and one of the things we kind of focused on was customer service and the relationship that we have with our clients. So for us being in the sort of service sector and particularly in accountancy, clients aren't expected to know everything that we know. We spend years learning our profession, training to do what we do. So we kind of realized that clients can't really distinguish one service provider from another based on technical abilities necessarily. So there's no point telling people that you can do a VAT return or you can do payroll or whatever it might be. What they can critique us on, what they can sort of judge value on, is how quickly can I get hold of you? Do you talk the same language as I do? Do I feel like I'm building a rapport with you? And can I just get on with you as a person? So really focusing on the people side of it, the people skills, and all the it's really all the soft skills, because ultimately people buy from people. Yes, there's a service or a product behind it, but ultimately it's people buying from people. And it was, I think, recognizing that early on and having that as a key part of everything we do has definitely helped with growth, because a lot for us in particular, referrals is a big part of how we get new clients and grow our business. So if clients have a really positive experience working with us, that referrals come easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like there that you've identified some really key areas that make you stand out in the industry. What else would you say makes you stand out in the industry?
Technology. So we're quite sort of prescriptive in the way we work and who we work with. And this also boiled down to when we first started. Before we kind of pushed the button and started our business, we ensured we had enough financial resources behind us so that we could go at least 12 months with just a handful of customers, or potentially even no customers, because we realized we had to really work at it to build the business. And what we didn't want to do is just take on any clients because they've knocked on our door. We kind of knew who we wanted to work with and the reasons we wanted to work with them. We didn't necessarily want to work with clients that would bring us a carrier bag full of receipts the day before the deadline. We wanted people that would embrace technology. But if you've got bills to pay and you really need the work, it can be quite tempting to take on clients that really your gut feel is you shouldn't be taking them on. They're not the right fit. So yeah, working with the right type of clients allows us to have a consistent approach, because a lot of our clients, although they do different businesses, they're a very similar demographic. They use the same technology. They're happy to embrace technology. We generally the majority of our clients are millennials or Gen Z clients, so often have grown up with a mobile phone, laptop, are used to embracing technology and new ways of working.
Okay, that's really interesting, because it is generally the norm that that kind of thought process or that kind of realization is realized further down the line, and you have to go through a whole heap of pain and heartache and challenge, and people turning up genuinely with suitcases full of receipts or carrier bags full of receipts. So
Yeah.
what made you think about and decide, actually I'm happy to not take on the wrong client? This is the type of client that we want.
I suppose there was, in terms of growing our business or even starting our business, there was an aspirational lifestyle dream, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
And digital, if your clients are sending everything digitally via the cloud, we can have video calls. We're not geographically tied. So if we're away, we can still do things. And especially as a small business, we can't, if we're doing, say, payroll for a client, we can't turn around and say, well, sorry, we're on holiday this week, we can't do it for you. If we're in a different country on holiday, we still need to work. We still need to be able to provide the services for our clients. So having everything digital, everything online, means wherever we are in the world, we can still provide the service for our clients, just as if we were down the road.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Do you think that COVID and lockdown had a little bit to do with that?
Definitely. Yeah. I think that would be a real challenge had COVID not taken place. I think there would still be people that would adopt that mindset, but I think equally there would be a lot of people who would take a little bit longer to kind of come to the table with that way of working. A lot of what we do as well is pre-recorded videos. So, like, at the moment we're having a one-to-one in real time, but a lot of what we do is a pre-recorded video, because a vast majority of our clients have young children, they've got their day job to do, they're 9 to 5. So we pre-record videos so that they don't have to take time out of their day to come and talk to us. Once they finish their day job, put the kids to bed, or it's the weekend, they can watch a video. We've talked them through, say, their tax return, for example. They can have a look, and then they can respond to us in their own time. So we're constantly trying to find ways that technology can reduce barriers, and not just to make our life easier, but make our clients' life easier. And we've had a lot of positive feedback around things like pre-recorded videos and ways that work around people's schedules.
Yes, I think that that's absolutely fantastic. The pre-recorded video, such an awesome idea, leads brilliantly into my next question, actually, which is, how do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business?
So up to now, I'd say we haven't at all. If anything, it's got worse. But we are kind of at a point now where we've just taken on two employees. So we're just going from the 2 of us to a team of 4, which will massively alleviate sort of the pressures that we've had. Sometimes you can plan ahead for growth, and you can kind of see what's coming down the road. And we had a plan, and it's it's been a good problem to have. Our growth has happened quicker than we anticipated. So I would say that the key thing for us moving forward to ensure we do continue to get a decent work-life balance is that forward planning. It's capacity planning, ultimately, especially for a service business like ourselves. It's based on hours in the day. And if we don't want to dig into our evenings and weekends, we just need to see what's coming down the road and resource plan for that, which we're doing now, and adding new members to our team, training them up, and then we get our sort of evenings and weekends back, which will be a lovely experience to have again.
Having weekends and evenings back. Oh, as a business owner, that's like gold dust, isn't it? It's like it's the best thing. Yeah, it's the best thing to aim for. So you mentioned there that you have a plan, and that you look further ahead. How far ahead do you look? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So in terms of planning ahead, we, in different ways, we plan ahead quite far, almost to the point of how would this business look if we came to sell it in the future when we come to retire or move it around. That's kind of big picture. But then in terms of planning ahead and how we did that, we kind of spent an entire day and we didn't actually to start with look at the business at all. We looked at ourselves and we looked at our personal circumstances and the life that we wanted. Because again, going back to having your own business, you have that control within reason to do whatever, take the business wherever you want it to be. So we kind of sat down and decided, well, what do we actually want out of life? Where do we want to be? How often how much do we want to be working? What things, how often do we want to go on holiday? Where do we want to go? What would that cost? And we kind of built out a process of trying to establish where we wanted our life to be, say in 5 years' time, quantified that as best we could, and then put that and then said, right, okay, this is the life we want, and this is what we think it's going to cost. What does our business need to achieve to bring us that result? And when we worked backwards and we then decided, okay, we need this amount of profit, which means we need this amount of customers. And okay, so then that means if we want to achieve that in 5 years, how many customers do we need to get every month to reach that goal? So we actually started from, ignore the business completely, concentrate on what you want out of life and build backwards. And that's what we did.
Absolutely, speaking my language. Far too often there's a slice of life carved out of a business, as opposed to the business building for the life that you want. So that's music to my ears there, John. Music to my ears. What would you say your biggest learning has been?
A few different things, really. I would say some of them has been understanding what clients get out of working with us, because although we had an idea about focusing on the relationship, we didn't necessarily work out why certain clients were attracted to working with us as opposed to others. So, for example, at the moment, our client sort of demographic is 80 to 90% women. Couldn't work out necessarily why that was to start with. Got some sort of inklings as why that might be, more because of the way that we work. Is less formal, less corporate, hopefully less intimidating. Might be some of the reasons why that happened. So that's kind of been a real big learning curve for us, to just understanding actually there's a bit of a pattern here, sort of the types of clients we're attracting and why that is. Other things, again, is more on the business ownership side, less on the how to do the day job, but how do we run this business? And things like HR, now that we're employing people, understanding where do we find the help and resources out there. We're quite lucky that there's two of us, we can bounce ideas off each other, but it comes a point when it's outside your scope of competence, and you have to try and reach out to places and find those resources. And that's been a real challenge for us as well, working out where to go for that.
Yeah. It sounds like you network often. So do you reach out to your network? Is your network helpful for outsources and resourcing, circle of influence?
Yeah, I think that's been really, really helpful. Even just putting a story on Instagram and asking people on there, you can usually get some really good insight as to where to go and who to talk to. And that's actually been Instagram in particular has been a really good resource for just finding different people with different skill sets that might know somebody. And similarly for us, because of what we do and the broad range of clients we have, we can usually reach out to different clients and ask them, well, who did you use for that? Or so we're quite fortunate in that respect.
Yeah. Have you done your research with your client base and gained any intel as to why your clients are attracted to you?
We haven't done any sort of formal kind of survey, but we've done a bit of kind of had various informal chats about people with different clients. Some have just said, because you look like me, or you're similar to me. And again, that boils back to the whole people buying from people relationship. We don't wear suits. We don't sit the other side of a desk being intimidating. And I can understand why people feel that way. I can feel that way if you're talking to, obviously we're accountants, but if I talk to a solicitor, you can sometimes feel like I should know that. But it's like, well, if somebody spends 3, 4, 5 years training to do something, why should you know it? There's no reason why you should know what they know. And that's why they do what they do, and you do what you do. So I think that lack of, or hopefully lack of, sort of intimidation, the feeling that people can just pick up the phone, call us, and just say, look, I'm running my business, I have no idea on XYZ, can you help me? And not feel intimidated or embarrassed about it.
Breaking down those barriers, absolutely, because people do shy away from their numbers, and so having that open dialogue is really important. So no, that's good to hear. Just to finish off, what piece of advice would you give other business owners who are looking to grow their business?
Probably 2 things with growth. Concentrate on cash, because that's where you can get stretched. Even successful businesses can fail purely because they don't have enough cash when they need that cash. So even a simple spreadsheet, cash flow forecasting, making sure you've got enough money to pay as you grow. Staying lean as well, I think, while you grow, because it can be easy to add on various costs. I think those are kind of 2 key aspects, and just forecasting ahead. So cash, I'd say primarily cash flow forecasting for growth. In terms of not being tripped up, I'm sure people in different sectors will give different answers, but certainly from an accounting perspective, it's just keeping an eye on the numbers as you grow, because it can kind of get away with you a little bit.
Cash flow and staying lean. I like it. Thank you so much, John. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat to us and open up about your business journey. You've shared some absolutely fantastic insights and lots of takeaways in here for our community. So I can't wait to share this video.
Oh, thank you again for inviting me on.
No, thank you.